With Grammy nominations being released 2 weeks ago on Friday, November 8th, there's a lot of controversy arising about the nominations.
From the Beatles to thanking Beyonce for awards, it's controversial, and we're here to talk about that.
Let's start with the best album releases TikTok filter that arose just a little bit before Grammy nominations were released. In the filter, albums such as Charli XCX's Breath, Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande, Cowboy Carter by Beyonce, Radical Optimism, Dua Lipa, Tyla, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess by Chappell Roan, Hit Me Hard and Soft, Billie Eilish, TTPD, Taylor Swift, and Deeper Well by Casey Musgraves. People all over TikTok are organizing their favorite albums. So basically, the filter, you get to, it's top 10, and you get to order, your favorite album release of the year to your least favorite album release of the year. And okay. I don't think I know some of these. I don't think I've listened to them.
No, I haven't listened to the one Deeper Well by Casey Musgraves.
Yeah, me neither.
I haven't listened to that. I've never heard that on the radio. Me neither. You know what I haven't heard on the radio, but they're constantly nominating her?
Who?
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I get that her music is really popular, but I feel like her latest album didn't match up to Midnight's.
No, all I hear is Fortnite, and I actually listen to the radio because the radio in my car did not have aux. So I was forced to listen to 103.5 Kiss FM every single day. And all I ever heard was Fortnite, and I hated it.
Oh,
because,
wow.
After a while, it's one of those things where it, just gets overplayed, and you don't want to listen to it anymore. But I think Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande wins for me.
Yeah, I think that she's put together so many different, types of songs in that album.
Yes.
And they really, show, her full range.
Exactly.
And it, I don't know. It, she's put out so many different albums that it kind of, comes together and ties everything up with, a cute little bow.
Yes. And I know when, because I think Yes And was released as a single before the rest of the album, and I know that caused a lot of stuff because of her relationship with Ethan Slater, I think. SpongeBob. Yeah.
SpongeBob.
But I don't care because it's great. But Ariana Grande is the one Grammy snub that people are talking about a lot.
With which category?
With which category? So basically what people are saying is that all of her fans are upset because she hasn't been nominated in any of the big 4 categories at the Grammys. So those are Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, and Best New Artist. But she does have 3 nominations still.
Okay.
And for anyone who isn't aware, a snub is ignoring or refusing the knowledge of someone. So those are a snub was also when Barbie didn't get nominated.
Oh, that was made me mad.
So an Oscar snub.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she definitely could have won Album of the Year with Eternal Sunshine.
I agree.
But I don't think, because Record of the Year is more the building of the song.
Yes.
And I don't really have that much knowledge about it. But I definitely think she could have been nominated for Song of the Year with any one of those songs on the album. Because they were so, they're emotional. I like that, yeah.
And you're right, her range really shows. Because I know, the intro song, that's, very soft, but it, kind of builds up. And then there's Yes And, which is just, full pop.
Right.
But there is also controversy surrounding Best New Artist, which Sabrina Carpenter was announced as.
She's been making songs ever since she was at Disney Channel.
I know. She has 7 or 6 produced albums.
There's no way that you're Best New Art. Yeah,
she's
been
new.
An artist.
She is great.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe Artist of the Year or something like that. I don't know. But she's not new.
Right.
She was on Disney for everything. She was even on, Austin and Ally and, of course, Girl Meets World. But, and this is her first tour, her Short and Sweet tour, which was fabulous, by the way. I went. And it kind of compared to Taylor Swift as, it was kind of a production. But in that tour, she sang 2 albums. That's not... Yeah. Because it was her Emails I Can't Send and then
her new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And... So I don't get it. I'm glad she's getting, the recognition she deserves because her music is great. But I don't know. It's not new, right?
Right. And I think that they've done that with multiple artists in that section because I know that Chappell Roan and I think his name, Teddy Swims.
Oh, yeah.
They have both made music before, this year.
Yes.
Their music dates back to, 2019, 2017,
Exactly.
It's not... they're not new artists. They're just, like, becoming more popular now.
Yes, and maybe they're, like, new to some people, but I feel like that doesn't sum up the category because there are so many, like, new and up-and-coming artists that are, like, trying to get their recognition that they deserve.
Right.
I think my favorite Grammys controversy, though, is Thank You, Beyonce. Because that really kills me.
I think that is, like... I think that controversy that came out just, like, ruined, like... everything that she had going for her.
Oh, yes.
Like, Beyonce was always seen as, like, someone who's, like, inspirational, and she makes great music, and blah, blah, blah. But with this whole thing about, like, I need to thank Beyonce or else she's going to get me.
Yes.
Like, it's kind of just, like, taking everything she had and threw it away.
Exactly. And I have to say, more recently, I haven't been, like, the biggest fan of her as a person. I love her music. Like, that's great. But, there's when she, like, knows she's gonna get the Grammy, so she's already, like, I don't know if you've seen the clips, but she's just, like, smiling, and I'm like, okay, we know you've won, she's a 29-time Grammy Award winner, but, like, I don't know, you still have to stay humble even if you're Beyonce, right?
Have you seen that video? There's this video of her, and she's getting, like, nominated, or, like, they're about to, announce the nomination, or the winner for it, right? And she literally stands up stands up before they even announce it, and she didn't win. Harry Styles won.
See, that's funny. Like, that's just funny. That's funny.
Harry Styles won, and she sat down immediately.
That's just embarrassing.
Faked. Yeah.
Like... Imagine. Like, he made Beyonce sit down.
Right.
And for anyone who is unaware, this all kind of became popular on social media because JoJo Siwa thanked Beyonce at the Industry Dance Awards in her acceptance speech, and she didn't say it casually.
Yeah.
She said something along the lines of, "Oh, and I forgot, thank you, Beyonce," just so I don't get, like, attacked. Because Beyonce's husband, Jay-Z, who also has a ton of controversy surrounding him, has a connection to Diddy, which we all know is an issue right now. But yeah, so I think that one's just hilarious. And bringing recognition to kind of the Beyonce situation that's been going on for a while now.
And she's been nominated for her new song.
Is it Cowboy Carter?
Cowboy?
Yeah.
Cowboy Carter. They're, like... She's been nominated for everything, and it's like, I have not heard that song on the radio one time. The only song that I've heard is, like, Texas Hold'em.
Yes. See, that's another one, is I feel like all of these artists, and I have since gotten a new radio in my car, so I do listen to my aux and everything like that, but I feel like they don't play some of the best songs that are in these albums. Like, I don't really want to listen to Texas Hold'em. I prefer songs like Bodyguard or Yaya, because I think those are really good. Those are really good ones, and I would love to hear those on the radio. And I obviously don't know what goes into that, but I mean, also, Cowboy Carter wasn't groundbreaking,
right?
It's Beyonce singing country. Like, I don't know,
and it's her first country album.
Yes,
like I feel like for her it was more like nepotism, connections.
Sure,
like
maybe the Grammys are thanking Beyonce.
But no, like she's obviously an amazing singer and she deserves her Grammys.
Sure,
I think.
Yeah.
But
don't worry, Beyonce. It's okay. It's okay.
It's just like, this album feels forced.
Yes.
And so does Taylor Swift's new album, I feel like.
I agree.
It feels forced.
I still haven't listened to the full thing all the way through.
Uh-huh.
And I feel bad saying it because I do love Taylor Swift and I saw her on tour. But I don't know. I also work at a children's party place for little girls. So I am listening to Taylor Swift day in and day out.
Uh-huh.
So I am sick of it. But I don't know. It just, maybe I'm just like kind of over her.
Right.
I don't know. I still think her music is great, and she's obviously such a smart businesswoman in that way, but I don't know. It's
I don't know. I feel like she got through Midnights and through her success, and she tried something different, and all of her new fans that she gained during Midnights didn't appreciate what is it called? The Tortured Poets Department?
Oh, yes. The Tortured Poets Department.
Yeah. And I think that's where, like, it kind of...
Sure. I think that people who really appreciate... I'm, like, an old Taylor Swift fan.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like, 1989, Speak Now. But I think the people that are really appreciating her new music are her diehard fans, which she has a crazy large fan base, so that, that makes sense. But I don't know. And she's also always nominated for crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just an Ariana fan, but I definitely think that in my opinion, there's some imbalance there.
Right. Like, I don't know.
It's just... But on the topic of Taylor Swift, her Eras Tour is finally coming to a close on December 8th after 149 shows across the world. So that's international and, in the US.
Wait, how long has it been going on?
I think it'll be 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah, or close to.
Of the same tour?
Yeah, but mind you, she added in a whole new album. So I saw her the summer of 23, so last summer, when she was in Chicago, and it didn't have the Tortured Poets Department. Oh. But as her tour went on, because I know a lot of people thought she was going to announce Reputation Taylor's version, which I think would have been a much smarter decision, but that's okay. So a lot of people thought that was going to happen, but instead... the Tortured Poets Department got released, and so that she incorporated that into her tour.
Oh, so did she revisit locations?
No.
Okay.
So she did, I think it was a second leg of the tour. So basically she had her original where it was I was part of the original lineup of the tour, so when she came to Chicago, and then she did her international, so that was Europe and South America. And then she was oh, psych, I'm coming back to the U.S. And then did another round in, the neighboring states that she didn't visit before. She might have repeated a couple, but, then she came to Indiana. So I know a lot of people who didn't go to the Chicago tour were oh my gosh,
she's
this is
nearby.
great. Yes,
Yeah.
We'll just go up to Indiana. It was a great tour, though. It's just, it's a lot different than other concerts. I've been to a couple, and with Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter, they're both productions.
Yeah, they're more shows than they are concerts where you're singing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think part of that's the set and the costumes. They're telling a story.
Right.
In their music and stuff like that. Whereas I went to a Harry Styles concert, and don't get me wrong, Harry Styles was amazing, but that was
straight
bouncing
music.
up and down, him just walking on the stage singing.
Right.
Rather than
I think that's the direction that music might take soon.
I agree.
Because such big artists are doing I'm not just making music, I'm telling a story.
Yes.
Right? So I think that we could probably look forward to future albums that might follow suit.
I agree. And I think with an artist so big as Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter now coming more into a rise, I think people other artists are catching on. And so they're is this the new standard? Which is so crazy because these really are quite the thing. But I think we can expect to see a lot more of that coming, and I'm not mad about it.
Right.
It's pretty good.
I'm looking forward to the future of music.
Me
these
too.
Nominations.
I agree. And I look forward to the Grammys coming up to see what actually happens. Yeah, I definitely look forward to the Grammys. They are February 2nd in 2025, so we've still got a ways away. You know, it's only November. But I think with these nominations and controversy, people are getting a lot more excited to see them coming.
All right.
With a lot of these Grammy snubs, we want to leave you with one last thing. If you have any artists or up-and-coming new songs or records or albums of the year, we would love to hear your feedback on what you think was snubbed at the Grammys.